Hello everyone, my name is Kirill, you are on the Auto Advisor channel. Today we will talk about why and when you should change tires. As a rule, we change tires for two reasons. It is tire wear and the change of season. Winter tires differ from summer tires in composition and tread pattern. This is due to important factors: temperature and road surface. In order to understand the relationship between temperature and tires, let's remember ordinary chewing gum. Chewing gum is hard at room temperature. When we warm it up, it becomes softer and more elastic. The same thing happens with the tire. As the temperature rises, the tire becomes softer. It also increases the grip properties with the road, and at the same time fuel consumption also increases. When the temperature drops, the tire becomes stiff. Its grip properties are reduced, which negatively affects braking and handling. So in order to balance these indicators of temperature rigidity, companies have developed two types of tires, as you know, winter and summer respectively. The rubber used in summer tires is more rigid. It withstands traction with asphalt heated in the heat and at the same time is quite wear resistant. But at low temperatures, the summer tires become stiff and lose grip. Therefore, just at the moment at low temperatures, it is necessary to use a winter tire with softer rubber. Whatever you understand, winter tires at low temperatures don't lose their elastic properties and retain traction. Conversely, when the temperature rises, winter tires become too soft and their wear increases very sharply. Therefore, purely theoretically, you can drive in summer on winter tires, but they will not last long for literally one season. It is also worth noting that there are so-called all-season tires. This is such a compromise between summer and winter, but you must understand that all compromises are not the best. This is the same as crossing a fighter plane and a bomber plane. As a result, this aircraft will be inferior to both classes. The second important parameter that distinguishes winter and summer tires is the tread pattern. The fact is that the tire during its operation must be in contact with the surface. Therefore, there are special channels on the tread that allows water to be diverted or some kind of loose snow to be diverted. By the way, what would you understand? Large companies are investing a lot of money in order to model and calculate this tread. There are special programs that simulate the deformation of those tires. They simulate how water scatters under the action of these tires and so on. The thread even depends on the type of winter. If the winter is moderate, then this is a separate such diagonal thread. And if the winter is colder, then these are usual diamond-shaped figures. Therefore, when you see a similar thread, you know that leading companies have invested huge funds in it in order to make it optimal and safe, depending on various road conditions. And now the internal question: when to change tires? Experts recommend changing them at the temperature of 5 till 7 degrees above zero. That is, when the temperature starts to drop. Usually it is autumn and reaches a daily average of about 5 degrees. Then you can easily change tires. In addition, in some countries the law regulated when you must drive with winter tires. An important point: when changing tires and when you go to a tire fitting, then usually there is a diagnostic and balancing of tires, and this is already a safety issue. In order to make the right choice, you must understand what kind of surface you will mainly ride on. Studded tires are designed primarily for driving on loose snow or ice. I hope it is not necessary to explain what studded tires are. This rubber has spikes. If you mainly drive in urban areas on ordinary asphalt, then you should not buy studded tires, since studded tires on asphalt have, on the contrary, an increased braking distance. Let's explain when you are on the pavement. Then the area of contact for studded rubber is the sum of the area of these spikes, and if it is a regular tire, then it is in contact with the surface, which is entire width. Therefore, conventional tires have a larger contact area on asphalt. Therefore, their stopping distance will be less. It's also worth noting that studded tires are usually noisy and very sensitive to operation conditions. Therefore, if you use it incorrectly, especially at positive temperatures, then it will have very high wear. Let's briefly touch on the issue of marking for 195.65 R15. Let's take a look at all these numbers. So the first digit, 195, is the width of the tire in millimeters. The second digit, 65, indicates the height of the tire profile as a percentage of the width. Then comes the letter R. Many people think that this is the radius, but this is not correct. The letter R in this case means that this is a tire that has a radial cable. There are also tires that have a letter D instead of R, which means that it has a diagonal cable. The cable is such small wires that are inside your tire, so this letter R or D shows their direction. After making the cable, it goes 15 in our case. This is the diameter of the disc in inches. Then there are two important indicators, the load index and the speed index. The load index should correspond to the maximum load capacity of your vehicle. The greater the load capacity, the higher this figure should be. There is a special table on the internet you can look at, translation of load capacity and load index. The last letter in our marking is the letter T. It means speed index. The higher the vehicle speed, the higher this index should be. There is also a special table respectively of the latest load and speed indexes. The price of a tire depends very much. Some people fit different tire diameters on their cars, so in this case it is required to make an adjustment for the speedometer, as it will show the turners incorrectly. To do this, on our website there is a special tire calculator in which you can enter the old parameters and new parameters, and you will be calculated an adjustment to your speedometer. Also on our site there is a huge selection of tires. Therefore go to our website and select tires for your car. Basically that's all I wanted to say. I hope you understand why and when to change tires. My name is Kirill, it was the Auto Advisor channel. All the best to you and see you soon.